Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Hiruzen get to know Naruto as a grandson of Tobirama and gives him special treatment part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. The village hidden in the leaves, a village founded by the greatest ninja of the age, Hashirama Senju. Together with his wife, Mito Uzumaki, and his brother Tobirama Senju, fought and survived through the Warring States period. The Senju clan and Uzumaki clan were not the only ones to found Konoha, as the Senju clan's rival, the Uchiha clan also helped. Over the years, Konoha thrived but Hashirama's dream never came true. Although he was not able to achieve peace during his lifetime, his legacy and vision for the world would continue to shape the village and the entire shinobi world even after his death. Others followed Konoha's lead and made their own ninja villages. Thus came the time of the 5 great shinobi nations. However, war erupted between the nations for a resource that was limited. The Biju, or the 9 titanic living forms of chakra created by the Sage of 6 Paths out of the chakra from the 10 tails. Each nation sought to control these creatures and use them as weapons by sealing them within a young child. These children with Biju sealed within them are called Jinchuriki. An ironic name considering the children keep the fury of the Biju at bay while suffering discrimination and fear from the very people that made them Jinchuriki. Eventually the nation settled the matter and all of them gained Bijus. For Konoha, they gained the strongest, the 9-tailed demon fox. The first Jinchuriki of the 9 tails was none other than Mito Uzumaki, wife of Hashirama. However, at a very old age, Mito knew she would need to seal Kyuubi within another host. This host was Kushina Uzumaki, a relative of Mito's. Kushina was born between her Uzumaki father and her Hyuga mother. Though she herself never developed the all-seeing eyes of the Hyuga clan. Later in time, Kushina would meet and fall in love with a young genin from her class. This genin would rise through the ranks and become Hokage. His name was Minato Namikaze, but to his enemies he was called Konoha's Yellow Flash. Minato Namikaze was Konoha's best kept secret as he was really named Minato Senju, descendant from Tobirama Senju. The third Hokage and elders believed if his heritage was announced, he would be targeted by the other nations and war would erupt again. Minato and Kushina would become a couple after Kushina was kidnapped by Kumogakure forces. Konoha mobilized its ninja to retrieve her, but only Minato noticed the strands of red hair Kushina left behind to mark their path. Minato, acting alone, rescued her from her captors. Kushina, who had previously believed Minato unreliable, and even girly, began to fall in love with him. However, once again peace was ruined when the Third Shinobi World War began. Minato, now in charge of his own team, was deployed to fight. Kushina would often be seen fighting beside her love. In one particular battle, Minato would gain his moniker that would strike fear into his enemies. On the front lines, Minato met up with the surviving and outnumbered Konoha ninja and single-handedly wiped out the opposing Iwagakure forces. This single battle convinced the third Tsuchikage to accept a peace treaty. After coming back from the war, Minato would receive the honor of being elected as the 4th Hokage. Nearly a week later he received more good news: Kushina was pregnant. While he was elated to know he would be a father, he also realized the danger to the child, Kushina, and the whole village. He had his pupil and now Anbu captain Kakashi guard Kushina during her pregnancy. Minato's sensei Jiraiya, who was also one of the legendary Sannin, inadvertently named the child in one of his novels. Liking the name, Minato and Kushina named their child Naruto. Jiraiya would become the child's godfather and Tsunade, granddaughter of the first Hokage, would become godmother. Tsunade, although hating the village that took her loves away from her, stayed to help relative Minato and pupil Kushina. October 10th, the night that Kushina was to give birth. To keep the Kyuubi in check, Kushina was moved outside the village and give birth in a remote location. Minato would help maintain the seal and Anbu would guard the area. Tsunade, her pupil Shizune and the third Hokage's wife Bawako would deliver the baby. Ah, this really hurts, ya know. Shouts Kushina while the Anbu outside sweat drop. Kushina grunts and yells in pain as Minato keeps his hands on the seal holding the Kyuubi at bay. Minato seems worried as Tsunade, Shizune and Bawako stand ready to deliver the baby. I've never seen her cry out in pain like this before, says Minato with a worried face. Kushina continues to yell out and grunt. Is she okay? Asks Minato to Tsunade who focuses on the baby. Of course she is, assures Bawako as Tsunade is focused on her job. Lord Hokage, please focus on the seal, says Shizune as she runs for water. But she's, says Minato before Tsunade looks to him. You are the fourth Hokage, says Tsunade, making Minato look to her. She needs your strength now more than ever. No man could endure the pain of childbirth, says Bawako. Minato suddenly hears the Kyuubi roar and shake the seal. Kyuubi, it's trying to break free, thinks Minato with sweat running down his face. Hang in there Kushina, thinks Minato as he focuses on the seal. Hang in there Naruto. Tsunade narrows her eyes and sweats. He sure is taking his time, thinks Tsunade. Outside the barrier, the Anbu lie dead with a masked man choking one. The masked man looks to the barrier and walks forward. He walks to the stone wall and seemingly goes right through it. Kushina yells out again while Tsunade widens her eyes slightly. I can see his head, says Tsunade, making Minato smile. Shizune wipes Kushina's head with a wet cloth. You're almost there, Lady Kushina, assures Shizune. Hang in there, Kushina, says Bawako while Minato shakes after hearing Kyuubi roar out again. Naruto, come out quickly, shouts Minato as Kyuubi thrashes around in the seal. Kyuubi, you stay put, shouts Minato as Kushina gives one final push before relaxing. The cries of the infant fill the cave. Tsunade smiles and the baby before looking to Shizune. Hot water, shouts Tsunade. Right, confirms Shizune as she fetches the water. Kushina pants before tears fall from her eyes. Minato stands still with wide eyes, gawking at his baby. Naruto has 3 whisker-like marks on each cheek and a patch of red hair, like his mother. His eyes however are as blue as his father's. Oh just look at those adorable whisker marks, frets Tsunade while rubbing the marks. Minato starts to cry and rub his eyes. Today, I'm a father, says Minato with tears. Tsunade checks the baby over and smiles. The baby is perfectly healthy, assures Tsunade as she walks to Kushina. Minato walks forward and laughs. The mother sees him first. Glares Tsunade, making Minato depressed. Tsunade giggles at her cousin's depressed state, reminding her of her grandfather. Kushina looks to the crying infant and smiles. Naruto, calls Kushina with a soft smile, I finally get to see you. Tsunade watches with a smile before Bawako comes over and looks to her. You'll have lots more time later, assures Bawako as she takes the baby. Tsunade looks over Kushina and gives Minato a nod. Kushina, I need to completely seal the Kyuubi, smiles Minato, making Kushina nod her head with smile. Tsunade reduces the pain with her medical ninjutsu. Ah, shouts Bawako and Shizune who hits a wall. Shizune, shouts Tsunade as she stands. Bawako, shouts Minato. 4th Hokage Minato and Lady Tsunade, get away from the Jinchuriki, demands the masked man. Tsunade glares at the man with hatred. You bastard, release the baby, demands Tsunade as she enters a stance. Oh, not so fast, says the masked man as he brings the baby closer to his hand. A single accident and the child dies, says the masked man, causing Tsunade to sweat. Hand over the Jinchuriki, orders the man as Minato glares, otherwise, this child's life will end in 1 minute. Jiraiya, where are you? Thinks Tsunade with panic. How did he get past the barrier? Thinks Minato. Kushina suddenly yells out as sealing patterns appear over her skin. Kushina, calls Minato in panic. Tsunade looks to her and grits her teeth. The seal won't last, thinks Tsunade. Perhaps I wasn't clear enough, says the masked man as he pulls out a kunai, or do you not care what happens to your child? Tsunade glares and steps back a bit where Senbon are at. Wait, calm down, tries Minato as he sees what Tsunade is doing. Speak for yourself, Minato, says the masked man as Tsunade reaches the tray. I'm as cool as can be. Suddenly Tsunade throws the tray at the masked man, who widens his eyes at the speed. The tray goes right through him, but Naruto also goes through his hand. Minato narrows his eyes and flashes right under Naruto before catching him. The tray hits the wall and the masked man looks down. Take this, shouts Tsunade as her fist hits the mask and sends the man flying into a wall. However, Minato looks at the cloth on the baby and sees paper bombs. The masked man gets up and forms a ram seal, making Tsunade widen her eyes. Minato! Naruto! Shouts Kushina in panic. Minato! Shouts Tsunade as the seal on her forehead goes off. Minato, understanding, looks to Shizune and grabs her before he flashes himself, Shizune, Naruto and Tsunade away. They appear in a small cabin as Minato takes the cloth off and passes it to Tsunade, who clutches it close to herself. The tags go off as Minato exits the cabin and rolls to a stop with Shizune and Naruto. Tsunade! Shouts Minato as Tsunade emerges from the rubble with burns marks and blood running down her body. She shakes as she sees the blood, making Minato rush to her and rub it off. Tsunade grabs Minato and looks to him. Shizune awakens and looks to Tsunade before rushing over. Go, save her, says Tsunade as Minato nods and leaves. The masked man releases the Kyuubi and then places it under his control. He then attacks the village using the fox demon. The ninja attack but are easily defeated by the Kyuubi. While that battle is happening, Minato faces off against the masked man. Using his Hiraishin level 2, he deals a blow to the masked man with his Rasengan. The masked man retreats but vows to return. Although the man was defeated, the Kyuubi is still free. With no other choice, Minato chooses to seal the beast at the cost of his own life. Using the sealing jutsu, Reaper Death Seal, Minato seals Kyuubi within his own son. However, Kyuubi uses the last bit of his strength to try and kill Naruto, but Minato and Kushina take the attack themselves. With that, Minato seals the beast away and dies next to his wife. Days later, the village is in an uproar and seeking to reconstruct the buildings. Tsunade mourns the loss of her cousin while looking over Naruto with Jiraiya and Shizune. However, the council believe Naruto is too dangerous to live and seek to get rid of the child. Enough, shouts Hiruzen with a glare. Tsunade and Jiraiya stand next to him while Shizune holds Naruto. The council quiets as Hiruzen sighs. We will not execute a child, says Hiruzen with no room for argument. The shinobi nod their head while the civilians look to each other and murmur. I agree, the child could be of use if trained properly, says Danzo while looking at Naruto. Like hell, shouts Tsunade as she glares at the one-eyed man. We all know your type of training, says Jiraiya with a glare. That thing should be killed now, shouts a council member, making Tsunade glare at him. The Kyuubi needs to be killed, says the man. Naruto is not the Kyuubi, shouts Tsunade, making the council quiet. Tsunade looks at the council members before one man stands. My wife was killed by that monster, says the man before he takes out a kunai. I will not live while that creature still breathes, shouts the man as he attacks. Tsunade widens her eyes as he attacks Naruto and Shizune. However, before the man can get closer, a large tree branch wraps around his body and sends him flying back into the opposite wall. The council gawks at the power while Hiashi Hyuga smiles. I for one agree with Lord Hokage, the child is partly a member of my clan as Kushina was from my clan, says Hiashi as he stands. You wish to adopt the child? Asks Fugaku while looking at him. Adopting the child could create a power struggle within Konoha, says Danzo, making Tsunade glare at him. No one is adopting him, says Tsunade, making everyone look to her. Jiraiya and I are Naruto's godparents and were given permission by Minato and Kushina to look after him in the event something happened to either of them. As such, we will determine who will raise the child, not you, says Jiraiya. Danzo glares at the two. And what of his training? I'm sure neither of you know Mokuden, says Danzo, making Hiruzen smile. Tenzo calls Hiruzen as an Anbu member appears next to the Hokage. Danzo glares at the man and narrows his eyes at Hiruzen. Tenzo here will teach Naruto how to use his power, says Hiruzen as he looks at the council members. The Shinobi Council nod their heads in acceptance while the Civilian Council looks wary but nod their heads. Good, you're all dismissed, says Hiruzen as the council leaves while Anbu take down the man who attacked Naruto. Tenzo turns to Hiruzen and Hiruzen looks to him. Tenzo, I assume you saw what happened, asks Hiruzen as he smokes his pipe. Yes, Lord Hokage, confirms Tenzo. Tsunade looks to the man while Jiraiya looks to Hiashi. You know Mokuden, asks Tsunade, making Tenzo nod his head and produce wood from his hand. Hiashi steps forward and bows his head. If it is all right with you, we of the Hyuga clan would also like to assist in his training in the event he awakens the Byakugan, says Hiashi, making Jiraiya look to him and nod. Tsunade rubs her head and sighs. I can't stay for long, but I know he will be in good hands with the Hyuga clan, says Tsunade as she plans to leave again. I have to maintain my network and I can't exactly take him with me, says Jiraiya before chuckling sadly. What horrible godparents we are, says Jiraiya. You need not worry, the Hyuga clan will watch over him, assures Hiashi. And I will train him, assures Tenzo. Then we are all agreed, says Hiruzen with a nod. Orphaned, Naruto grew up not knowing who his parents were, receiving only his mother's surname, as Hiruzen wanted to protect Naruto from his father's enemies. Tsunade and Jiraiya would look after him for a time, but in the end they each left the village. Though Naruto would always view them as his parents, Hiashi fulfilled his role and trained Naruto while also giving him a roof over his head. Tenzo also began to teach Naruto the basics of chakra. Minato's dying wish that Naruto be regarded as a hero was honored by the very few who could put aside their pain and losses caused by the disaster, while the majority of Konoha, however, having no knowledge of the circumstances surrounding his birth, openly ostracized and resented Naruto for containing the beast that devastated the village and took many lives. Some even viewed Naruto as the Nine Tails itself. Soon as was forbidden to even mention the nine-tailed fox with the hope of the younger generation would not hate Naruto. This failed, however, as the children copied their parents. As Naruto grew, his hair became spiky, much like his father's, with the difference being his hair was red. On his forehead is a rhombus-like marking. Tsunade had taught Naruto the strength of 100 seal, to which Naruto was able to achieve despite his young age, no doubt from his Uzumaki blood. Naruto, now ready to start his first day at the academy, walks through the snow. He walks while looking at the snow. He grabs a snowflake and smiles. Grandma Tsunade would like to see the snow, says Naruto as his face turns sad, missing the person who was like a mother. Suddenly Naruto hears crying, making him turns to his right. If you really are a Hyuga, show us your Byakugan, says a young boy with a smirk. Why bother? Just get out of here, says another child. Ew, her eyes are creepy, says a girl. The girl they are making fun of begins to cry, making Naruto step out of the bushes. Oi, calls Naruto, making the kids look to him. What do you want, tomato? Asks the lead kid. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, your future Hokage, announces Naruto, making the kids laugh. Like a carrot top can become Hokage, says one kid. Naruto glares at the two before stepping forward and punching the kid who made fun of him. What the idiot, says the other kid and punches Naruto, who tanks it and gut punches him. The three kids get into a brawl and it seems Naruto is winning due to his superior strength. With a final punch, Naruto hits the kid down and pants. Well, you feel like apologizing now? Asks Naruto while panting. The kids wipe their faces and glare before Naruto glares at them with a fiery background. Well, asks Naruto in a deep tone, making the kids look to Hinata. Sorry, says the kids, making the girl widen her eyes as the kids run away. Naruto sighs before falling on his butt. Are you okay? Asks the girl. Naruto looks to her and widens his eyes when he sees no pupils. So you really are part of the Hyuga clan? Says Naruto, making the girl nod her head. Yeah, I've seen you around a lot. Says the girl. Really? Asks Naruto as he sweats, thinking he forgot someone's name. My name is Hinata, my father is Hiyashi. Says Hinata with a blush and smile. Naruto gapes at having forgotten the clan head's daughter. Why you're Hiyashi-san's daughter? Asks Naruto while breaking out into a sweat. Hi, says Hinata while blushing. How come I've never seen you? Asks Naruto, making Hinata turn beet red with steam coming from her face. I hide, whispers Hinata with a blush. Naruto leans in with his ear. Huh? Asks Naruto, making Hinata shake her head. Naruto shrugs before standing and looking down at her. Don't let those jerks get you down, says Naruto as he lifts her chin with a smile while Hinata blushes beet red at the contact. I think you looks really pretty. Naruto lets go and runs to the academy. See you later, Hinata, says Naruto while Hinata sits there with wide eyes. She then smiles with a blush and places her hands on her chest. Pretty, says Hinata. Hinata then snaps out of her daydream and runs to the academy while Tenzo sits on a tree overlooking the area. I'm sure Lord Jiraiya would love to hear of this, says Tenzo as he vanishes in a body flicker. Naruto dashes through the snowy ground, making his way towards the Ninja Academy for his first official day. Naruto met Hinata nearly 2 months ago to apply for the academy. Naruto wears black pants with dark red stripes on the side of the pants legs. On both legs he has a kunai holster. He also wears a black Anbu vest over a burgundy shirt that leaves his arms exposed with an Uzumaki swirl on the back. On his hands are black metal ninja gauntlets, given to him by the third Hokage. At age 12, Naruto looks more like his father and Tobirama with his spiky hair and blue eyes, but still retains his mother's red hair. But his personality stems from his grandfather, Tobirama Senju. Though blunt and serious, Naruto retains his mother's excitement when he finds something interesting and his father's quick learning. Though, his intellect in academics is sorely lacking. This is due to the fact that Naruto views theory irrelevant and learns more by doing. Growing up being trained by Tenzo and other members of his Anbu guard, Naruto is strong for his age. Being trained in Kenjutsu by Neiko is one of his favorite things to do. Tenzo has taught Naruto a lot of Doden and Suiten Jutsu since training Naruto. Tenzo has also taught Naruto some basic Mokuten Jutsu. Inu has taught him survival and stealth, while Hiyashi has helped Naruto develop his own taijutsu style. Naruto pulls a sharp left turn and jumps over a barrel of trash before sliding under some wood. Naruto pants before he spots the building and smiles. He enters the area to see parents and their children talking. He looks on with envy and sadness before sighing. The parents and kids glare at the child. I can't believe they're allowing that thing to enter the academy, whispers a mother of a child. Right, what if he loses control and kills my baby boy? Asks another mother. Keep away from that boy, says a father to his daughter. Naruto ignores their words and steps to a swing before sitting. He swings several times before a ninja appears. Welcome, my name is Iruka Yumino. Greets the ninja with a smile. Iruka is a man of average height and build. He has black hair that he keeps in a ponytail, dark eyes and a scar that runs across the bridge of his nose. He wears the standard Konoha shinobi outfit complete with forehead protector, sandals, and flak jacket. I will be your children's instructor until they graduate at the age of 15. Says Iruka before looking at his pad of paper. Naruto sighs as he has to endure the company of people that don't like him for 3 years. And then he will be put on a team of 3. I'll go down the list of names, so please say, here, when I call your name. Says Iruka as he flips a page. Iruka calls several names before Naruto sighs. Hinata Hyuga calls Iruka, making Naruto perk up and look around. Hinata shyly raises her hand with a wave. Naruto waves at her, making her blush before looking to Iruka. H here, calls Hinata. Iruka nods and writes something on the pad before widening his eyes at the next name. N Naruto Uzumaki calls Iruka as he scans the area. Everyone looks back to the swing to see Naruto standing with a calm expression befitting his relation to Tobirama Senju. Here, states Naruto with a composed expression. The parents glare and look away while Naruto shakes his head with folded arms. Hinata looks to him and pokes her fingers together with a smile. Iruka nods stiffly before smiling and looking to his students. All right, please follow me, says Iruka as he turns away before walking into the building. Naruto follows before Hinata walks beside him. Naruto turns to her and slightly widens his eyes before smiling. I am glad you made it, says Naruto with a small smile. Hinata blushes beet red before nodding her head. As the two stick together and converse, Iruka glances back at them. Why did the Hokage allow him to join the academy? Thinks Iruka before sighing. Suddenly another ninja appears beside him, making him smile. Mizuki, glad you could make it, says Iruka, making the man named Mizuki smile. Wouldn't want to miss it, says Mizuki as he looks towards Naruto, who wears a blank expression. Iruka leads the students to the outside training yard and smiles before looking to them. Now then, I know you're all only 12, but I want to see what you've been taught, says Iruka, making the students confused. Naruto leans against the trunk of a tree with his eyes closed. What do you mean, Iruka-sensei? Asks a pink-haired girl named Sakura Haruno. I want everyone to show their jutsu to us, says Iruka with a smile, making the kids groan. Mizuki laughs before stepping forward. For now, just show us the basic jutsu, says Mizuki with a smile. First will be Sasuke Uchiha, says Iruka as a young boy with black hair and coal eyes steps forward, while the girls cheer for him. Show us the clone jutsu. Sasuke forms a ram seal before an identical copy of him appears next to him. Sasuke-kun, shout the girls, making Naruto scoff with a bit of envy at Sasuke's popularity. Well done, full points, says Mizuki with a smile, making Sasuke grunt. Naruto opens his eyes a little and looks at the boy. According to Tenzo, he is the last of his clan. As the kids complete the task, Iruka looks to Naruto, who has his eyes closed. Naruto Uzumaki, your turn, says Iruka stiffly. Naruto opens his eyes and walks forward, ignoring the stares of his classmates. Hinata looks on nervously. Good luck, Naruto-kun, thinks Hinata with a blush. Naruto stops in front of the instructors and looks to them. He can feel Iruka's discomfort of him while he feels outright disgust from Mizuki, who smiles. The clone jutsu, right? Asks Naruto in a calm and blunt tone. Iruka nods his head, making Naruto form a ram seal. Mizuki sends out a wave of chakra to disrupt Naruto. In a second, Naruto creates a dozen clones across the field, making Iruka's mouth open in surprise while Mizuki glares. Being taught by Tsunade in the early years of his life, Naruto literally had chakra control beaten into him. Naruto shudders, remembering the torture that woman called training. He formed this many clones with a single seal. Thinks Iruka in surprise while Sasuke looks to him with narrowed eyes. Do I pass or not? Asks Naruto bluntly with his arms folded across his chest. Iruka shakes himself from his thoughts and clears his throat. F full points, says Iruka, making Naruto walk away. Why, you did very well, Naruto-kun, says Hinata as Naruto looks to her with a raised brow. Kun, asks Naruto, making Hinata eep and blush. Naruto smiles and rubs her head before he walks towards the tree and leans against it. Hinata is beet red and has swirling eyes. Mizuki steps forward and smiles. Okay, the next jutsu will be the transformation jutsu, says Mizuki with a smile. The kids all pass before Sasuke steps forward. Turn into me, says Iruka as Sasuke forms a seal and transforms into a perfect copy of Iruka. Well done, full points again, says Mizuki with a smile before smirking towards Naruto. He glares though when Naruto has his eyes closed. Uzumaki-kun, is this lesson boring for you? Asks Mizuki as Naruto opens his eyes. He looks to the instructor with his blue eyes. No, but I see no point in practicing something I already know, says Naruto bluntly, making several kids snicker and Hinata to fret. Besides, I have heard everything you've said, says Naruto with his blue eyes piercing a hole into Mizuki's head. Iruka looks at Naruto before seeing a leaf on his forehead. I am possible, he did the clone jutsu while doing the leaf concentration practice, thinks Iruka in surprise. Suddenly a small pebble hits Naruto's head, making whisper an, ow, before he looks to a tree. He sighs and steps forward. Iruka looks to the tree and spots several Anbu watching over the area. Anbu? Those must be his guards, thinks Iruka. Perform the transformation jutsu, says Mizuki, making Naruto sigh before he gets a gleam in his eyes. The Anbu palm their heads knowing what's going to happen. Ninpo. Oroku no jutsu, ninja art, sexy jutsu, says Naruto whose voice turns feminine. The smoke clears to show a female Naruto with long red hair and blue eyes. Iruka and Mizuki fly backwards with a nosebleed while giggling is heard from the tree. Naruto uses his hand to brush the hair out of his face and winks before returning to normal. Iruka stands and his head enlarges. You idiot, shouts Iruka before punching Naruto on his noggin, making Naruto whimper while holding his head. The kids all laugh at the joke with the exception of the girls who glare at Naruto while Hinata blushes. F full points again, says Iruka with a blush while writing on his paper. Since I am up here, can I just perform the other jutsu? Asks Naruto with a calm tone. Iruka nods his head and steps back. Iruka, allow me, says Mizuki with a fake smile. Naruto looks to the instructor and scoffs silently. Idiot, whispers Naruto as he prepares himself for Mizuki to throw with the intent to kill. Alright, I want you to perform the substitution jutsu, says Iruka as he passes the kunai and shuriken to Mizuki who smiles. I got it, states Naruto bluntly, making Iruka sweat drop. Iruka chuckles sheepishly at his attitude before another pebble hits the side of Naruto's head, making him rub the offended area. Begin, says Iruka, and right when he does, Mizuki tosses the weapons with the intent to kill. However, the weapons hit nothing but a wooden log. Mizuki widens his eyes as Naruto has his arms folded while leaning on the tree the Anbu are at. Mizuki clicks his teeth in irritation. Behave yourself, whispers a voice, making Naruto look up and spot Neko, Inu, and Tenzo. Tenzo removes his mask and makes his fear face, making Naruto pout and look away. Well done, full points, says Iruka with a smile at the skill Naruto showed. As the other students pass the test, Iruka smiles and nods. Okay, time for your accuracy test, says Iruka as he makes the children step up to a table and grab kunai and shuriken. Most of the kids get a passing grade. Sasuke steps forward and grabs shuriken and kunai. He tosses them all and they hit dead on. 10 out of 10, good job Sasuke, says Iruka as he writes on his paper. Mizuki goes over to the target and watches as Naruto steps forward. Naruto looks to him and smirks before tossing 3 kunai in the air and throwing them. The kunai hit dead on the head of the target, right next to Mizuki who sweats a little. Oh, I'm sorry, my hand slipped, apologizes Naruto with an innocent smile and laugh. Mizuki glares at Naruto while Iruka passes him the remaining weapons. Naruto throws them all and hits all marks dead on. 10 out of 10, Good job, Naruto. Compliments Iruka, making Naruto widen his eyes and look to him in shock. Iruka looks at him with a sad face before smiling. He's so shocked, as if he's never received praise from someone before. Thinks Iruka as Naruto walks back to the tree. Naruto has a small smile on his face. Okay guys, time for some sparring, says Iruka, making Mizuki smile. Mizuki-sensei will be your opponent, says Iruka, making the kids groan. To score full points, you need to either survive for 3 minutes or for extra points, knock Mizuki out of the circle. But Iruka-sensei, Mizuki-sensei is a chunin, how can we beat him? Asks Ino Yamanaka. Mizuki will not be fighting for real, this is simple a mock battle to see where you all stand. Assures Iruka, making the students relax. Mizuki battles all the students he gained decent grades while others such as Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga gain better grades for lasting. Naruto opens his eyes as Sasuke battles Mizuki. Mizuki punches with a right that Sasuke dodges before kicking the chunin in the gut. Mizuki falls back and out of the circle. Mizuki lifts his head up with a fake smile. Well done Sasuke, you've gained extra points, says Mizuki, making Sasuke grunt and walk away with a smirk. Mizuki looks to Naruto who is already walking forward. Iruka marks something down on his paper and looks to Naruto. Naruto knows that Mizuki will come at him in full force and that will leave him open. Naruto will surprise him with his skill, power and speed. You can begin when you're ready, says Iruka as Naruto enters a stance with his left leg forward, right leg back, and left arm forward with an open palm facing Mizuki. His right arm is down near his waist and his right hand is balled into a fist. Mizuki comes forward with a straight punch that is blocked by Naruto who sweeps his legs in a quick motion. Mizuki grunts before flipping and straightening himself. Naruto moves forward this time and throws 3 punches. 2 are blocked by Mizuki before the third hits him in the gut, making Mizuki widen his eyes with a gag as he gut caves in from the power of the punch. Acting quickly, he grabs Naruto's arms to gather himself. Naruto headbutts Mizuki who grunts in surprise before Naruto unleashes 3 kicks, one to get Mizuki off the ground, the other to open him up and the last to kick him back. Naruto runs forward and palms Mizuki's gut, making Mizuki widen his eyes and cough up a bile. Naruto appears under Mizuki within his guard. Mizuki throws a punch to try to get him away. Onmyo Kanho Taijutsu Kishin Metsuretsu, Yin Yang Fist Art Taijutsu Chaotic Demon God Destruction. States Naruto calmly as blue chakra surrounds Naruto and Naruto does a single clockwise spiral, to dodge Mizuki's counter before using the momentum to perform a leaping left-handed punch. Mizuki's head is snapped up by the force of the punch and ascends into the sky several feet before he falls in a heap. Yin-Yang Taijutsu is a form of taijutsu that Naruto developed with the aid of Hiashi and Tsunade. Unable to fully grasp the gentle fist style of fighting, Naruto merged the basics of the gentle fist with his monstrous strength. This allows Naruto to not only break his enemy's bones but also cause internal damage with his chakra. So strong, thinks Iruka in surprise. Due to Naruto being raised by Tsunade for a time, he has endured her dodge training and been taught how to increase his already monstrous strength with chakra. Naruto never thought her dodge training would come in handy, but mostly because he wanted to live and that meant foregoing that torture. But Tsunade would not have it and forcibly trained him. The other students look on with gaping mouths while Hinata blushes with a smile. How did he acquire such power? Thinks Sasuke with narrowed eyes and balled up fists. Mizuki then stands slowly with blood trailing down his lips. Naruto's internal clock says he still has 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Mizuki appears to be seeing double as his stance is off. He then spits out some blood and holds his stomach. That palm, thinks Mizuki as his gut feels like it's on fire. His brain hasn't recovered from the shock of the punch. Thinks Iruka as he looks on. Mizuki glares with hatred as blood falls down to the ground. He then flashes through hand signs making Naruto and Iruka widen their eyes. Naruto's eyes harden at the sight of hand signs. Mizuki, wait, shouts Iruka. Mizuki takes a breath with dark eyes. Kaden, Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style, great fireball jutsu. Shouts Mizuki as he breathes out a large fireball befitting the name of the technique. The students gasps at the jutsu before Naruto flashes through hand signs of his own. Mokuten, Mokujoheiki, wood style, domed wall jutsu. Shouts Naruto as he slams his hands on the ground. Wooden pillars sprout from the ground from left to right. The wooden pillars join together in a dome shape with Naruto in the center. The fireball hits the wall and detonates, creating a shockwave that forces the students and Iruka to shield their eyes. Smoke and dust is kicked into the air from the attack but begins to fall to show the outcome. The students and Iruka gasp at the sight of Naruto protected by a wooden dome wall. Mokuten, I am possible, thinks Iruka with wide eyes while Sasuke grits his teeth but smirks. Mizuki pants with wide eyes before the wood wall separates and sinks into the ground. That's the first Hokage's jutsu, says Sakura with wide eyes. Shikamaru Nara looks on before yawning. What a drag, this is going to be a long year, says Shikamaru while Choji eats chips next to him. Ha, things are getting good, right Akamaru? Asks a young boy named Kiba Inuzuka to his dog. Akamaru barks in agreement while Shino Aburame pushes up his glasses. Naruto-kun, you're amazing, thinks Hinata with wide eyes. How can he use the first Hokage's jutsu? Asks Ino more to herself than anything. Are we still sparring, Mizuki-sensei? Asks Naruto with narrowed eyes. Mizuki, what do you think you're doing? Demands Iruka with narrowed eyes. Mizuki looks to him with his fake smile. I believed greater force was needed to face Uzumaki-kun and he proved me right by defending himself from my attack, says Mizuki before looking to the students who have wide eyes. Remember, shinobi lie, cheat, steal and murder, do not expect them to follow a code of honor. Iruka nods at the statement before looking to Mizuki. While that is a good lesson, please refrain from using any more jutsu. This is a simple sparring session, nothing more, says Iruka, making Mizuki laugh. Of course, well done Uzumaki-kun, smiles Mizuki, while internally he is livid and astonished that the demon child knows the secret jutsu of the first Hokage. Iruka too is astonished and looks to the Anbu who don't move from their spots. Mizuki enters his stance with his face deforming into a glare. Naruto enters his stance with Mizuki glaring with pure hatred. Seeing as a staring contest will get him nowhere, Naruto moves first, appearing in front of Mizuki within a second, surprising Mizuki who throws a kick towards Naruto's midsection. Naruto catches the kick and smirks before pulling Mizuki forward. He then twists the leg, making Mizuki yell out and lash out with a kick. Naruto blocks the kick but releases the leg. Mizuki flips up and throws a barrage of punches at Naruto who weaves through and blocks them before hitting Mizuki with a spinning back elbow, right through the barrage of punches. Mizuki holds his nose before Naruto socks him right in the face, making Mizuki fly out of the circle before tumbling to a stop. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki, says Iruka as Mizuki holds his face and groans on the ground. Naruto stands straight and exhales a breath while pointing both palms towards the ground. He turns and walks back to his spot while Iruka helps up Mizuki who holds his face. Naruto leans against a tree with folded arms. That was amazing, Naruto-kun, says Hinata as she walks over to him. Naruto looks up and smiles. Really? It was due to the Hyuga clan that I learned my fighting style. Smiles Naruto making Hinata smile with a blush. How did you learn the first Hokage's jutsu? Asks Sasuke after approaching Naruto. Naruto looks to Sasuke before standing straighter. Who knows? Shrugs Naruto with Hinata looking between them. Sasuke and Naruto stare off before Sasuke smirks. Well, it doesn't matter, says Sasuke as he looks to Naruto and turns away with a grunt. Naruto watches him walk away and smirks. Naruto Uzumaki, You might be able to provide me with a challenge, thinks Sasuke before his eyes harden, but I will surpass everyone and kill Itachi. This is going to be an interesting 3 years, says Naruto, making Hinata blush and poke her fingers together. Don't you think, Hinata? Hinata turns beet red at Naruto saying her name. The rest of the day, Naruto had to suffer through academics, but Hinata helped him with some. With school out, Naruto decides to walk a blushing Hinata home. While he is being raised by the Hyuga, he doesn't actually live in the estate. Naruto lives in an apartment right near the Hyuga estate. Thank you, Naruto-kun, says Hinata as she pokes her fingers. Naruto looks to her and shrugs. It doesn't make sense to walk home alone given that we live near each other, says Naruto with a smile. Will you be training with Tu-san today? Asks Hinata, making Naruto hum. Not today, I have other training to do, says Naruto, making Hinata sad. Naruto sees her face and scratches his cheek with a finger. Well, we'll see each other tomorrow, assures Naruto with a faint blush, making Hinata widen her eyes and smile. Hi, exclaims Hinata with a smile, making Naruto smile. Hinata runs into her home with a blush, running right by Hiashi, who raises a brow. He then looks outside to see Naruto and he smiles. Naruto walks towards his home before taking a detour to go into the forest. He waits for several minutes before Tenzo arrives. Neko and Inu right behind him. Naruto folds his arms and pouts. You didn't have to throw rocks at me, says Naruto, making Neko giggle. For the rest of the year, Naruto remained one of the best in combat while his academics were among the lowest. Still, he successfully passed his first year with little incident. In terms of combat, Naruto and Sasuke were even throughout the year. Konoha, one of the great ninja villages. It's early morning when the sounds of fighting echoes through the forest. Blurs dash through the trees before the sounds of metal on metal wake the animals of the forest. Flashes of leaf headbands and a single waterfall headband clash multiply times before the Taki ninja falls to the ground. The kunoichi growls before standing and dashing through the forest. She looks back to see Leaf Anbu, in hot pursuit. Damn them, thinks the kunoichi as she moves through the forest. She looks to her hand and frowns at the kunai. A piece of paper is wrapped around the kunai. She continues to run before skidding to a stop. She gasps when she looks up to see Anbu standing on the branches with their arms folded, looking down at her. Give it up and come quietly, says an Anbu with eagle mask. The kunoichi looks around to see she is surrounded. She then glares at the Anbu before smirking. Don't underestimate the shinobi of Takigakure, shouts the kunoichi as she opens her vest to show dozens of high-grade explosive tags, making the Anbu widen their eyes. Damn, curses the eagle Anbu as he vanishes in a Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker jutsu, with the others following. Die, shouts the kunoichi as she blows up. The birds in the forest fly into the sky in the wake of the explosion. After the dust settles, the Anbu reappear in a Shunshin. The body of the kunoichi is not able to be retrieved as the explosion destroyed her. We have to report to Lord Hokage, says the eagle Anbu as he vanishes with the others following. In a tree with a bird's nest, is the kunai the kunoichi had in her hand. The piece of paper is still attached to it. In another part of the forest, opposite of the battle, is Naruto, who stands panting with a silver sparkling aura around him. However, this is not the power of the Kyuubi, but a technique that Naruto has been developing. Suddenly, Naruto dodges a pair of branches, which sprout from underneath him. He turns and attacks Tenzo, who smirks under his mask. Naruto kicks Tenzo's head right off his shoulders before landing. Naruto pants as Tenzo falls to the ground. Naruto looks to see a wood replacement. Naruto turns and launches a kick that Tenzo barely blocks. The aura around Naruto dissipates and he falls to the ground. I did it, pants Naruto with a smile before he starts to laugh. Naruto wears a similar outfit from a year ago, but instead of a red undershirt he wears a black one. He also has a sword on his back. Yes, you did, and as of this moment, the jutsu is forbidden. Says a voice, making Naruto look up in shock. He spots Tenzo and Hiashi, who has folded arms in a stern expression. Why? Asks Naruto with narrowed eyes. Hiashi looks at him and sighs. That jutsu is too dangerous and can only be used in times of extreme duress. Says Hiashi with folded arms. Naruto widens his eyes and stands. Ji-chan? Asks Naruto as he folds his arms. Hiashi nods his head. Well, I suppose it is a dangerous jutsu. Says Naruto with a thoughtful expression. Hey, it's time for you to head to the academy. Says Hiashi before he sighs. You too, Hinata. Says Hiashi as an eep is heard from the bushes. Hinata stands from the bushes with a beet red face. Naruto raises a brow before he smiles. Hinata, let's walk to the academy together. Says Naruto with a smile. Hinata widens her eyes before nodding her head. Hi. Says Hinata with a blush and small smile. Hiashi steps forward as Hinata walk ahead of Naruto. Naruto-kun, if you hurt my daughter, I'll never forgive you. Says Hiashi seriously. Naruto on the other hand tilts his head. Hurt her? Asks Naruto with a tilted head. Hiashi just looks at him before palming his head. Never mind. Says Hiashi as Naruto shrugs and runs to catch up to Hinata. The two converse happily on the way to the academy. Hinata blushes the whole way to the academy while Naruto talks. Arriving at the academy, Naruto spots Shikamaru and smiles. Oi, Shikamaru, calls Naruto, making the pineapple-haired boy turn in his direction. Morning, Naruto, greets Shikamaru with a yawn. Naruto slaps him on the back, making the boy shudder and hold his back, while Hinata's sweat drops. Why yeah, says Shikamaru before Choji runs up to the three. He has sparkling eyes, making Naruto raise a brow. What are you so happy about? Asks Naruto before Choji pulls out a bag of chips while sticking his nose in the air. Behold, the new flavor of chips, says Choji epically as the sun shines behind him, honey mustard. And I am the first to try it. Says Choji proudly, before a crunch is heard, making him open his eyes to see Naruto eating a chip. Not bad. Says Naruto as he eats before passing a chip to Hinata, who eats it and hums with a blush. I suppose I should try it. Says Shikamaru as Choji's soul comes out of his mouth, comically. Choji snatches his chips away and curls into a ball while crying anime tears. The three sweat drop and put their hands up in surrender. Alright, we're sorry. Says Naruto with a sweat drop. Naruto walks into the academy with Hinata following. Entering the classroom, Naruto sees Sasuke just sitting down. The two lock eyes and turn their heads away. Naruto sits down with Hinata sitting next to him. Naruto-kun, what do you think we'll be doing this year? Asks Hinata with a blush. Naruto hums as Choji and Shikamaru enter the classroom. We might do some survival training. Says Naruto, making Hinata shake a little. Naruto sees this and smiles at her. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Says Naruto, making Hinata blush. Kiba enters the classroom with Akamaru on his head. Ha, you couldn't even protect yourself. Says Kiba, making Naruto turn to him. Who asked you? Dog breath. States Naruto with a smirk as Kiba growls. Suddenly Kiba stiffens when he hears the sounds of running. Naruto leans back in his chair with his arms folded before Sakura and Ino burst into the classroom. First, they both call before glaring at each other. Naruto sighs as he waits for class to begin. Hinata stays by his side taking quick glances at him and poking her fingers together with a blush on her face. As the time passes, Iruka steps into the classroom with a smile on his face. Alright, it is time to start class, so sit down. Says Iruka, getting the room to quiet down. Hinata taps Naruto, who opens his eyes. Iruka goes over the roll call before smiling. Today we will be practicing your survival techniques. Says Iruka, making Naruto smirk and the other genin to groan. What do you mean, Iruka-sensei? Asks Sakura. I mean, you will all be outside in the wild for 1 week. Says Iruka with a smile, making Sakura pale. Oh, outside? Asks Ino with a shudder. It is a ninja's job to survive even in the harshest of environments. Says Iruka, making Kiba laugh. Finally, something fun to do. Says Kiba with Akamaru barking in agreement. Naruto agrees with Kiba as he has been trained in survival. Sasuke simply smirks at the challenge. This form of training will make some of you quit the academy. Says Iruka as he looks at the students gathered. Some of the students gulp while the more powerful remain unfazed. Iruka smiles before putting down his pad of paper. Then, it is time to leave. Says Iruka as the students stand. Naruto looks at those around him and spots Sasuke, who appears unfazed. This will be interesting, says Naruto in a low voice. Hinata looks to him with a head tilt. Says Hinata, making Naruto place his palm on her head and rub her head. Hinata blushes at the contact. This is a test to see if we will cooperate with each other for mutual survival. Says Naruto, making Hinata widen her eyes. So you figured it out? Asks Shikamaru with his head down. Naruto glances back before smirking. I assume you realized first. Says Naruto. Who will you team up with? Asks Naruto, making Shikamaru raises his head. I believe I will stick with Choji and Ino. Says Shikamaru. Iruka clears his throat, making the students stop talking. All of you will be assigned to a team at random, says Iruka, making the kids groan again. Naruto Uzumaki, Amir Shigaraki, and Hinata Hyuga will be on one team. Hinata sighs in relief and blushes while Naruto looks to his other teammate. Amir is a young boy with violet hair and purple eyes. He has light clothing like Naruto and a tanto on his back. In class he is very quiet and does not interact unless he is called. But Naruto has seen him looking at him from time to time. Amir walks up to Hinata and Naruto and smiles, making Naruto narrow his eyes. I know we don't know each other, but I look forward to working with you. Says Amir with a smile. Hinata bows her head with a smile while Naruto glares at the boy. Pleased to meet you. Greets Hinata before looking to Naruto. Naruto-kun, says Hinata, making Naruto looks to her and sigh. He then turns to Amir and sticks out his hand. Nice to meet you, says Naruto stiffly, making Amir shake his hand with a smile. The two stare at each other for a while before Iruka calls to them. Forest. Iruka had assigned the teams to different places, where they would not run into each other. Naruto and his team got a thick forest for their survival training. As they walks through the forest, Naruto feels the woods creeping in on them. He looks back to see Hinata looking around warily while Amir seems unfazed and holds a smile on his face. We should look for shelter, says Naruto, as that was the first thing Inu taught him. It would have to shield us from the elements while also provide us with a strategic position. Says Amir with a smile. It should also be located near a river. Says Hinata, as they need water to survive. We split up. Hinata, check for water. Amir, check for vantage points, and I will check for a place in the middle of what you find. Says Naruto, making the two nod and vanish in a shunshin. Naruto jumps to the trees and looks for a place the team can take shelter. He leans down and touches the tree branch he is on before closing his eyes. 2 kilometers to water, 1 kilometer to the open field we saw. This should do, says Naruto as he stands and jumps down. He stands in front of the tree before weaving hand signs. Mokuten. Sora no ki, wood style. Hollow tree. Says Naruto as a tree grows right in front of him. The tree grows while becoming hollow throughout. The tree stops growing and Naruto steps inside. He looks it over and smiles. This should do, says Naruto before folding his arms. Right, Amir? Asks Naruto without glancing back. Amir stands behind Naruto with a smile on his face. Nicely done, we have good shelter. Says Amir as he continues smiling. Wipe that stupid grin off your face, says Naruto as he turns to Amir, It doesn't fool me. Amir continues smiling before it slowly falls and he opens his eyes. That's good, I was getting tired of putting that on. Says Amir in a monotone voice. Who are you? Asks Naruto with his guard up. Amir simply looks at him for a second. Amir. Says Amir, making Naruto click his teeth. But I assume you want to know why I am here. States Amir, making Naruto nod his head. It is my mission. States Amir simply, making Naruto narrow his eyes. I am your mission? Asks Naruto, making Amir quiet. The birds cry in the forest before Naruto narrows his eyes and scoffs. Root. Huh, states Naruto as he closes his eyes, making Amir's brow twitch in surprise but his face remains the same. Soden Koro Lu Bu theme. If you've come to take me away, says Naruto as he slowly opens his eyes and his muscles tense, you should have brought some of your friends. Amir tenses as well before the ground begins to slightly crack between the two. I thought the same thing when I first saw you. Says Amir as the two continue to stare off. And yet here you are. Says Naruto with narrowed eyes. I was hoping we could just talk. Says Amir as Naruto looks at him. Then start talking. States Naruto as his fists ball up and his knuckles crack. My mission is to simply watch and report back, says Amir as he prepares for the worst. I have no intention of causing you harm. Really? And why should I believe you? Asks Naruto before Amir reaches for something in his pockets, making Naruto narrow his eyes. My orders, says Amir as he passes them to Naruto, who quickly reads them. Naruto looks up from the papers and thinks. I left myself intentionally open since we got into this forest, thinks Naruto as he looks at Amir. He could have attacked at one of those moments but didn't. Song stop. Very well, says Naruto as he eases up. The two stand straighter but still have their guards up. If that is the case, then I propose we pass this test. Says Naruto with a smile. Amir smiles as well, but his is forced and not natural since he was trained by Root. Hinata peeks her head inside the tree. En Naruto-kun? Asks Hinata, making Naruto turn to her. Is this our shelter? Asks Hinata as she walks in while looking around. She then turns to her two teammates and tilts her head. Is everything okay? Asks Hinata, making Naruto smile reassuringly. Never better. Let's set up our camp. Says Naruto as he walks by Amir. The first 6 days go by relatively quick for Naruto's team. They have done well to set up a hunting ground and even made a small bath for Hinata. Amir has kept his word about not attacking Naruto, which has made Naruto more relaxed around him. On the finale day of the training, the group have been training together. It is near night when three blurs dash through the trees, near Naruto's camp. Naruto lands on a branch and spots a wild boar. He looks around before spotting Amir, who nods his head. Hinata nods her head in his direction with a kunai out. Naruto reaches and pulls out a sharp branch made from his mokudan. Now! Shouts Naruto as Amir throws two kunai and misses purposely, scaring the boar. The boar runs with Naruto on its tail. Hinata! Shouts Naruto as Hinata cuts a rope and the boar is pulled from the ground. Naruto quickly stabs the boar and exhales a breath. Amir jumps down and smiles. Well done, we got dinner for our last day. Says Amir as Hinata jumps next to Naruto. We got a big one this time. Says Hinata with a soft smile. Naruto laughs before he spots a glint in a tree. He jumps up, making Amir and Hinata confused. En Naruto-kun? Asks Hinata as Naruto rustles through something. He then pulls out a kunai with a paper attached to it. Hey, look what I found. Says Naruto as the three gather around the kunai. What is it? Asks Hinata while Amir looks closely. It appears to have been left here. Says Amir, making Naruto nod his head. Why though? Asks Naruto as he unwraps the paper. He widens his eyes at the writing before they narrow. Our village was under surveillance. Says Naruto, making his team gasp. I heard a rumor that a battle occurred here a couple of days ago, before our assignment. Says Amir with his arms folded. So the enemy must have left this here. Says Naruto as he looks at the paper. What should we do? Asks Hinata as Naruto thinks. We should turn it in. Says Naruto before Amir looks to him. If we exit the forest we'll be disqualified from the exercise. Says Amir, making Naruto think. Unknown to the three students, three blurs are fast approaching their position. The three blurs are Taki Kunoichi who wear stoic faces but their anger is all in their eyes. The three dash across the branches with haste. To think she lost, says one Kunoichi with gritted teeth. Enough, we need to focus. Says another Kunoichi. We get the info, we will avenge her. Says the last Kunoichi before the lead Kunoichi stops. The others land right next to her. The lead Kunoichi sees a glint in the forest and spots Naruto and his group. That kunai, says the lead Kunoichi with narrowed eyes, the secret documents. She must have placed it in that nest before she was defeated. Says another Kunoichi with narrowed eyes at the kids. Naruto snaps his eyes wide as he feels three presences. Naruto-kun, says Hinata noticing Naruto stiffen. We're not alone, says Naruto making his team widen their eyes. Naruto then pinpoints their location. What do we do? Asks Amir while looking around. Naruto looks to them and gives them a discreet message. The two nod before vanishing in a shunshin, making the Kunoichi widen their eyes. Don't let the red-haired boy escape, shouts the leader as they give chase. Naruto looks back to see the Kunoichi right on him. Naruto smirks and looks forward. Can you keep up? Asks Naruto before he lands on a branch only to propel right off, cracking the branch. He's fast, thinks the lead Kunoichi as they pick up the pace. As Naruto is pursued, Amir and Hinata leave the forest to find Iruka. In Hinata's hand is the documents. Naruto dashes off the trees with the Kunoichi trailing him. Enough of this, thinks the lead Kunoichi as she takes out several kunai. She throws them quickly at Naruto whose ears twitch in response. Naruto draws his katana and blocks the weapons skillfully before landing in a crouch, in a clearing. The three Kunoichi land in front of him. Not bad, brat, says the lead Kunoichi making Naruto enter a stance. Who the hell are you guys? Asks Naruto as he looks at each of them. Hand over the kunai you found, says the lead ninja, making Naruto grab the kunai in his pouch. No way, finders keepers, says Naruto childishly, making the Kunoichi grit their teeth. Naruto though is only stalling for time so Hinata and Amir can get help. It will take them about an hour to get out of the forest and then another hour for help to arrive. Thinks Naruto as he looks in the direction the two went. You seem distracted, says a voice in Naruto's ear, making him widen his eyes. One of the Kunoichi have gotten behind him. The Kunoichi all take off their masks while the one behind Naruto licks his cheek. You are a cutie, says the Kunoichi before Naruto ducks and sweeps her legs. The Kunoichi rights herself quickly before Naruto rushes forward and punches her stomach. The Kunoichi gasps and coughs up a bile with blood before flying back into a tree trunk, caving it in. I know, but please refrain from lewd acts against me, says Naruto as he holds his katana in front of himself while not denying his attractiveness. A certain granny would kill me and you if she found out. Brat, growls the lead Kunoichi before the Kunoichi that Naruto hits stands and giggles. Not to worry, says the Kunoichi as she shows the kunai in her grasp while holding her stomach, making Naruto widen his eyes and check his pouch. He allowed me to get too close. Nice work, says the lead ninja before the kunai vanishes in a puff of smoke. The Kunoichi all widen their eyes. Aw man, looks like the jig is up, says Naruto as he crouches on a tree branch overlooking the clearing. You, growls the silver-haired Kunoichi in anger. Where is the kunai? Demands a Kunoichi with narrowed eyes. It's being delivered to my sensei who will then mobilize the village and come after you guys, says Naruto calmly, making the Kunoichi growl. You brat, shouts one of the Kunoichi before the silver-haired one holds out her arm. He's bluffing, says the leader with a smile. He went through all of this because he knows that his little friends need time to get away. So we can still get the documents, says one kunoichi with a smile. Yeah, if we hurry we'll catch the other two in no time, says the kunoichi that licked Naruto's face. Suddenly the three block a barrage of shuriken from above. They look up to see Naruto with narrowed eyes. You'll have to go through me, says Naruto with a serious tone. The kunoichi glare at the red-haired boy. Soden Koro Lu Bu theme. Fine, show no mercy, shouts the silver-haired leader. Two kunoichi attack Naruto from opposite sides, making Naruto jump to dodge. The two kunoichi lock swords and look up at Naruto, who lands on their interlocked swords. Konoha Ryu. Mikazukigiri, leaf style. Crescent moon beheading, says Naruto as he swings his sword in a single, large, crescent moon-shaped arc, which occurs with such ferocious velocity that the kunoichi have barely enough time to react. In a flash their heads come off. However, Naruto's victory is short-lived as he soon learns they used a substitution to evade the attack. You little brat, growls the two kunoichi, who each have a cut on their face. I missed, says Naruto with a click of his teeth. He widens his eyes when the silver-haired kunoichi attacks from behind. Naruto blocks the sword with his own before the two engage in a flurry of blows before locking blades on the ground. You're pretty good for your age, says the kunoichi before smiling. But, says the lead kunoichi as the other two attack from behind, you're still going to die. The two kunoichi stab their swords into Naruto's side, making Naruto cough up blood. Too bad, you were so cute too, says the kunoichi that licked Naruto. However, three pairs of eyes widen when they see a wood replacement. Wood. Think all three kunoichi. Mokuten. Hatsuga Ida, wood style. Sprouting branches, shouts Naruto as branches sprout from the ground and cut into the kunoichi, who shield themselves. The silver-haired kunoichi is hit in the gut with a blunt branch and flies back. Naruto dashes forward and runs on top of the branches he made to attack the two kunoichi, who deflect his sword and kick him back. Naruto flips in the air before ducking under a swing and wrapping his legs around the kunoichi's neck. The second kunoichi appears behind him, so he grabs her with his arms and spins, sending both falling to the ground. Enough, shouts the silver-haired ninja as she calls the two to come next to her. Ninpo. Gene Taju Shuriken, ninja art, multi-phantom shuriken jutsu. Shout all three kunoichi as they release a barrage of shuriken, making Naruto widen his eyes and form several hand signs. Mokuten. Mokujo Heiki, wood style, domed wall jutsu. Shouts Naruto as the interlocking wall appears as a defense. The shuriken hit the wall and do nothing to it but bounce off or stick to it. Shit, curses one of the kunoichi in anger as she looks on. That kid, says the leader, making the other two look to her. He holds the jutsu of the first Hokage. Yeah, but it won't save him, says a kunoichi with narrowed eyes. We're going to capture him, says the leader, making the other two look to her. His body holds the secret to wood style, says the leader as she smirks. Naruto puts down his wood wall and looks at the kunoichi, who glare at him. Give it up, kid, says the silver-haired kunoichi, and we'll make sure you will live your final moments in peace. After our village dissects you for study, adds her fellow kunoichi. Since you asked so nicely, says Naruto sarcastically, making the kunoichi smirk. Well, one way or another, says the leader before charging forward, you're coming with us. Before they can get close, the branch is littered with kunai. Who did that? Demands the silver-haired kunoichi as she looks up to see Sasuke looking down at them. Looks like you need help, loser, says Sasuke as he looks at Naruto, who scoffs. As if I need help from you, jerk, says Naruto as he stands straight. Well, since I'm already here, I'll cut in to help regardless, says Sasuke in his usual tone. Naruto scoffs with a hidden smirk. Suit yourself, says Naruto as Sasuke appears next to him. The two students stare off with the three kunoichi. The wind blows through the forest, making the leaves fly on their branches. Two blurs daws through the leaves at high speeds. In front is Hinata, who dashes from tree branch to tree branch with Amir following behind. The two have been moving non-stop since they left Naruto to hold off the kunoichi. Finally the two are nearly out of the forest. Hinata, up ahead, shouts Amir as Hinata sees the evening light breaking into the forest. With a surge of chakra, Hinata dashes out of the trees and skids to a stop. Iruka has been outside the forest since the beginning of the survival test and widens his eyes at the sight of Hinata and Amir. Iruka-sensei calls Hinata before explaining the situation and handing him the documents. Iruka grits his teeth and looks to Amir. Amir, you give this to Lord Hokage. Orders Iruka before looking to Hinata who pants. Hinata, you stay here. Says Iruka making Hinata widen her eyes. And no, I'm coming with you, says Hinata, taking a stand, surprising Iruka and Amir, besides you don't know the way. Iruka sighs before rubbing his head. Ah, forget it, show me the way. Exclaims Iruka as Hinata nods her head and takes off. Iruka follows while Amir heads to the Hokage residence. Iruka trails behind Hinata who hurries to the location. Iruka looks up at the fading sun and clicks his teeth. Damn it, curses Iruka, making Hinata look back to him. Iruka-sensei, says Hinata, making Iruka look to her. I was told that a battle occurred near the place I sent you three, but I was assured that the enemy was defeated. Says Iruka, disappointed in himself for sending his students into danger. Because of me, Naruto is in danger. Says Iruka while Hinata looks at him with no idea what to say before she giggles. Hinata, says Iruka as he looks at her giggling face. Sorry, it's just I was thinking what Naruto-kun would say if he saw you like this. Says Hinata with a smile while Iruka sweat drops and thinks. He sees an image of Naruto with folded arms and a stern gaze. Idiot, it is the job of us ninja to take on dangerous missions when no one else can. Says Naruto with a calm expression. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and get to work. States Naruto bluntly as Iruka sweat drops and laughs sheepishly. Yeah, he would definitely say something like that. Chuckles Iruka with a smile. Hinata giggles and nods her head with a hum. Iruka hardens his eyes and the two pick up the pace. I just hope nothing bad happens. Thinks Iruka with some sweat running down his face. The two dash through the forest as the sun goes down. Naruto asked one bad situation. Naruto and Sasuke stand side by side as the three kunoichi stand side by side. The stare down continues as the two younger ninja hold their weapons. Sasuke has a chikudo strapped to the back of his waist. How did you find me? Asks Naruto as he glances at Sasuke who glances at him. I heard the commotion from my camp and decide to investigate. States Sasuke as the three kunoichi glare at the newcomer. Where did this brat come from? Growls a kunoichi with short light brown hair. My, this village sure knows how to make cute young boys. Says the kunoichi with long dark brown hair. It doesn't matter, says the silver-haired kunoichi with narrowed eyes, since we lost the documents, we take the red-haired boy as compensation. The other two kunoichi nod at the words while Naruto hums. Well, I guess we should start this. Says Sasuke as he looks to the kunoichi with Naruto sighing. Just don't get in my way, says Naruto before glancing at Sasuke. If you do, I can't guarantee I won't kill you by accident. Sasuke glances at Naruto as the tension rises. Funny, I was about to tell you the same thing. Says Sasuke before he smirks, making Naruto smirk. The two groups narrow their eyes before the silver-haired kunoichi looks to Sasuke. I'm guessing you won't turn around and leave. States the silver-haired kunoichi as Sasuke looks to her. Not a chance, says Sasuke, making the silver-haired kunoichi sigh. Fine then, says the silver-haired kunoichi before glaring at Sasuke, you'll just have to die. End song. Well then, says Sasuke as he draws his chikudo and enters a stance, shall we? The silver-haired kunoichi snaps her eyes wide with strains converging on the pupils. She flashes through hand signs. Naruto Ost heavy violence. Kaden Renkijutsu, fire style. Synergy Jutsu, says the silver-haired kunoichi as the two others follow her lead and weave hand signs. Naruto and Sasuke widen their eyes, Karura Garuda. The three kunoichi, each breathe a long stream of intense fire, which combine to form a flaming dragon. Sasuke narrows his eyes and flashes hand signs before looking to Naruto. Naruto! Shouts Sasuke, making Naruto click his teeth and flash through hand signs. Don't order me around, says Naruto as the two breathe in. Kaden. Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style. Great Fireball Jutsu. Shouts Sasuke as he breathes out a large fireball at the incoming fire dragon. Futon. Daitapa, wind style. Great Breakthrough. Shouts Naruto as he exhales a strong gust of wind that picks up dust in its path. Sasuke's fireball becomes empowered by Naruto's wind jutsu and creates a blazing inferno. The two jutsu meet and cause a blinding explosion that kicks up dirt and rocks. The forest shakes from the blast as Iruka and Hinata widen their eyes. Naruto-kun, shouts Hinata as she moves faster. The rocks fall from the sky as the three kunoichi stand unharmed with the silver-haired kunoichi looking on. The forest is burning now from the attack with several trees on fire. The three widen their eyes when the dust clears and they see no sign of the two boys. Where did those brats go? Asks the light brown-haired kunoichi as she looks around. Did they flee? Asks the dark brown-haired kunoichi before the silver-haired kunoichi looks up. Above us, shouts the kunoichi as Naruto and Sasuke come down with their weapons. The three kunoichi separate. The silver-haired kunoichi evades by jumping forward, while the light brown-haired kunoichi evades by dodging to the right, and finally the dark brown-haired kunoichi evades by dodging to the left. Naruto and Sasuke slam their swords down on the branch before Naruto glances back at the silver-haired kunoichi. Damn brats! Growls the silver-haired kunoichi before landing on a branch and jumping at them. Naruto throws a kunai at the kunoichi, who scoffs. Not good enough, shouts the kunoichi as Naruto smirks. A close-up of the kunai shows a sealing formula on the handle that glows before the kunai separates into 4 kunai, all attached with chakra. What? Shouts the silver-haired kunoichi in surprise as she is wrapped with the kunai and falls to the ground after hitting several branches. She groans and attempts to move, but she is electrocuted by the chakra strings wrapped around her. Damn it! Curses the silver-haired kunoichi as she reaches for a kunai and begins to slowly cut the rope. Looking from above is Naruto, who looks to Sasuke. End song. It won't hold her forever, says Naruto, making Sasuke nod his head as they both turn to the two kunoichi. We need to finish these two. I'll take the one with the long hair, says Sasuke, making Naruto nod his head. Good. She's a bit weird, says Naruto as she remembers the woman licking him. The two nod and dash at their opponents. Soden Koro Lu Bu theme. Come on, shouts the light brown-haired kunoichi as she throws several shuriken at the incoming Naruto. Naruto skillfully evades and weaves through the barrage of shuriken while blocking them. The branch begins to crack as Naruto moves. This branch won't hold, thinks Naruto as he dashes closer to the kunoichi. He looks around and sees a dead tree that has yet to be touched by the fire. The tree just so happens to be behind the kunoichi. That'll do, thinks Naruto as he gets closer to the kunoichi. The kunoichi sees him getting close and pulls out her sword. She swings, but Naruto ducks and grabs her legs before pulling her down and over him. In the maneuver, Naruto gets on top and punches the kunoichi in the face as the two slide on the unstable branch. Naruto raises both hands and brings them down, but the kunoichi sees it coming and blocks. As she does, the two fall right off the branch. In midair, the kunoichi punches Naruto before Naruto grabs her head and slams her into the trunk of the dead tree. Bastard! Growls the kunoichi. She pulls out her sword and thrust. Naruto evades the sword and attacks with his own, but the kunoichi parries. The two slams against the inside of the tree as Naruto realizes for the first time it is hollow. Naruto parries a strike before the two slam into the trunk and break through the trunk. The two ninja land on a branch with several groans. The kunoichi quickly stands and throws several shuriken before forming a ram seal. The shuriken multiply, making Naruto click his teeth and block them with his sword. Too many, thinks Naruto before he looks down to see a hollowed-out hole in the tree. Naruto evades and slides off the branch and into the hole as the kunoichi looks down the hole. In the hole, Naruto is having a tough time as the smoke is suffocating him. His eyes begin to hurt really badly and he loses his grip on the surface and falls deeper. He quickly latches onto the wall with chakra to stop his fall. He enters a coughing fit as the smoke assaults him. It gets to the point where Naruto can't even open his eyes. "This is bad," says Naruto as he coughs and rubs his eyes. My eyes." Naruto thinks back to the lessons from Hiashi. End song. Flashback. Naruto sits in front of Hiashi who looks to him with a stern face. The two have been training non-stop and Naruto has yet to win a single match against the superior man. "Naruto, why do you think I win all the matches we fight?" asks Hiashi as Naruto looks to him. "You are more experienced and you also have the Byakugan," states Naruto, but Hiashi sighs. "It is true that I have more experience than you, but," says Hiashi as he looks to Naruto, "the Byakugan is not the reason for my victory." Naruto becomes confused at the statement. "What do you mean?" asks Naruto with a curious expression. "The difference between us is I don't just use my eyes to see," says Hiashi, further confusing Naruto. "You don't use your eyes to see?" asks Naruto with a tilted head. "Use your senses, Naruto," says Hiashi as he stands, making Naruto stand. "Don't trust your eyes, they can deceive you." The lights in the room go out, making Naruto look around. "Wait, I can't see. How am I supposed to fight?" asks Naruto to the darkness. Naruto is suddenly hit from behind, making him groan. He gets up and enters a stance. "Your senses are far greater than those around you," says Hiashi as his voice echoes in the shadows. "You can smell, taste and feel your opponents." "I don't know how to do any of that," exclaims Naruto, a bit of his mother's attitude breaking through. "Focus, Naruto," says Hiashi as he hits Naruto 3 times before Naruto swings and misses. Naruto looks around but sees nothing but darkness. Naruto closes his eyes and begins to focus on his other senses. He uses his ears and picks up the slight sound of floorboards creaking. He then uses his sense of feel to feel the slight tremors of movement in the ground. Finally, he uses his nose to sniff out his opponent. All of these combined paint a picture of Hiashi moving towards him. However, the picture is like an X-ray and he sees the chakra pathways of Hiashi. "Defend!" shouts Hiashi as he thrusts with a palm and widens his eyes when Naruto blocks it. Hiashi attacks again with a flurry of japs, pokes and palms. Naruto blocks or evades the blows while attacking. Naruto pulls back his fist and throws a right that Hiashi blocks with both hands. Naruto tilts his head and applies more power. Naruto's fist emits a low burst of intense chakra that stuns Hiashi as Naruto punches him back. Hiashi falls to the ground before looking up to see Naruto's foot in front of his face. "Well done," says Hiashi as he stands and the lights come back on. Hiashi smiles when he sees the bulging veins around Naruto's closed eyes. Naruto opens his eyes and the veins vanish, but Hiashi sees the trademark pupils of the Byakugan before they vanish. "Always remember, Naruto, use your other senses to see your opponents," says Hiashi as Naruto bows his head. Flashback over. Naruto Ost 1 Naruto main theme. Naruto holds onto the wall before closing his eyes. He drowns out the nose from the fire and creaking tree. He focuses his hearing on the breathing of the kunoichi. He sniffs the air and filters out the smoke to smell the kunoichi. As he does this, the veins around his eyes bulge before becoming more prominent. Byakugan, shouts Naruto as he opens his eyes. Naruto looks around with his new eyes and takes in the wonderful sight of nearly 360 degrees. He sees Sasuke battling his opponent and they seem even in combat. He looks around some more and spots the silver-haired Kunoichi still struggling to cut the chakra wire. His eyes then show all these images at once while Naruto tilts his head. He stretches his senses further and spots Iruka and Hinata running to this location. Naruto looks up with a smirk at his newfound sight. Above him stands the Kunoichi who looks through the hole. "Slippery little bastard," says the Kunoichi before she sees the light reflect off of something. She widens her eyes and lifts her head just in time to evade a single kunai. The kunai goes straight up before losing momentum and pointing down. At that moment the kunai separates into dozens of kunai and the Kunoichi realizes they all have paper bombs on them. "Son of a bitch," shouts the Kunoichi before looking to the hole and growling. She jumps down the hole as the kunai explode above her. "Where are you?" asks the Kunoichi. Naruto pulls himself up and flips before channeling chakra into his feet and launching up the hollow trunk. The wood beneath him cracks from the force. The Kunoichi looks around before she spots Naruto coming towards her like a rocket. "Oh shit," shouts the Kunoichi as Naruto spears her back up and through the explosion and smoke. The back of the Kunoichi's flak jacket is burned and smoking as they both land on the branch. Naruto mounts her and throws several punches that make the Kunoichi cover herself up. She finally reverses their positions by grabbing Naruto's arm and flipping him on his side. She mounts him and raises her sword but Naruto sees it coming. Onmyo Kanho. Tenkatsushin Yin-Yang Fist Art. Chakra Point Needle. States Naruto as delivers a barrage of two-finger strikes at the Kunoichi. Despite only using two fingers to attack, Naruto using his enhanced strength, smiles when he hears the breaking of several bones. The Kunoichi screams out in pain as her bones break. "Fly away," says Naruto as he unleashes a double palm to the Kunoichi's gut. The sound of cracked ribs makes the Kunoichi yell out as she flies back. The woman rolls to a stop before spitting up blood. Naruto stands and unsheathes his katana from his back. He holds up a ram seal in front of his face. Konoha Ryu. Kumata Gecko, Leaf Style. Hazy Moonlight. States Naruto as he swings his sword in a circular motion, leaving a trace of afterimages behind. This jutsu was created by studying Neko's Hazy Moon Night and Hayate's Moonlight. Naruto has created a form that makes his sword difficult to follow as well as himself. The Kunoichi stands but her body is not responding correctly, making her growl as blood leaks down her mouth. "What's going on?" thinks the Kunoichi as her body is having a delayed reaction. Unknown to her, when Naruto attacked her with Tenkatsushin, he also disabled the flow of chakra and slowed the signals from the brain to certain regions of her body. She pulls out her sword and growls before dashing forward as fast as she can, but to Naruto she is full of openings with her body not responding correctly or fast enough. Naruto dashes forward with immense speed, leaving an afterimage trailing behind him. "Die!" shouts the Kunoichi as she swings, but Naruto was already sliding in a 180 degrees spin. Konoha Ryu. Hyaku Hachi Jugiri, Leaf Style. 180 Slice. Says Naruto as he is crouched while facing the Kunoichi's back. Due to Hazy Moonlight and Tenkatsushin, the Kunoichi could not follow Naruto and his sword or react in time. End song. Naruto stands and sheathes his sword as the Kunoichi shrieks as blood spurts from her wound. She stabs her sword into the tree trunk to keep herself up while Naruto looks to her. Naruto notices the branch is unstable as the fire burns it. "IW will not lose to some brat," growls the Kunoichi as she turns around while using her sword as a crutch. "Give it up," says Naruto as he knows she can't fight anymore. "The longer you continue to fight, the more pain you will be in." Naruto can see the bones her broke and the bleeding of her wound. The woman takes a step forward, making Naruto narrow his eyes. He hears and sees the cracking of the branch. "Stop," Any more and you won't survive. Says Naruto as the kunoichi still moves forward. You've lost. Says Naruto as the kunoichi stops and looks at him before her eyes turn to fury. Rarg. Growls the kunoichi as she jumps at Naruto, who back flips and lands in a crouch. The kunoichi lands and the branch snaps under her, making her eyes widen. She then looks to Naruto, who widens his eyes before she falls and is consumed by the flames on the forest floor. Naruto turns his head away with sigh before turning his attention to Sasuke, who appears to be having trouble. Sasuke pants with blood running down his face and minor cuts on his body. His opponent isn't faring any better, as she has blood running down her arms and face. I've gotten sick of you, boy. Says the kunoichi with narrowed eyes as she stands straighter. Sasuke smirks and places his sword in front of him. I've been sick of you. Says Sasuke as the kunoichi narrows her eyes. The kunoichi sheathes her sword and smirks. Very well then, says the kunoichi as Sasuke narrows his eyes, I guess I'll show you terror. Is that right? Says Sasuke with a sarcastic tone as the kunoichi smirks and blushes before looking her fingers. I love it when boys like you scream out in horror and beg me to end it. Cries the kunoichi with a lustful look in her eyes. You are very sick, says Sasuke as he dashes forward. The kunoichi flashes through a couple of hand signs before Sasuke's vision becomes blurry. Megan. Shin no Jigoku, demonic illusion, true hell. Says the kunoichi while licking her lips. Within the genjutsu, Sasuke relives the worst night of his life. But instead of being a spectator, he is the victim. Everyone killed that night, Sasuke takes their place and experiences the emotions of someone about to die, over and over again. Ah! Shouts Sasuke while writhing on the ground as he holds his head. The kunoichi blushes as she gets off on his screams. Yes, just like that. Shouts the kunoichi as Naruto lands on a branch overlooking the area. He widens his eyes when he sees Sasuke yelling out. Within the genjutsu, Sasuke thinks about asking for it to stop with blank eyes before the sound of faint yelling reaches his ears. He follows the yells to a room where he spots the dead bodies of his parents and Itachi standing over them with his Sharingan blazing. Foolish, little brother, says Itachi, making Sasuke widen his eyes before they slowly narrow in rage. The walls within the genjutsu begin to crack and Sasuke snaps his eyes open to show a fully matured Sharingan. Wake up, dumbass, shouts Naruto as Sasuke stands and glares at Naruto. The kunoichi widens her eyes at the boy standing. Shut up, loser, says Sasuke with his Sharingan active. Sasuke then looks to the kunoichi who stands with wide eyes. How did you? Starts the kunoichi before her vision distorts. She suddenly is reliving the worst day of her life. She screams as various men converge on her. Outside the genjutsu, Sasuke and Naruto stand looking down at her. She's still alive? Asks Naruto with folded arms. Yeah, but her mind is gone, says Sasuke as he sheathes his sword. Sasuke looks at Naruto's eyes while Naruto looks at his. Your eyes are weird, says Sasuke, making a tick mark appear on Naruto's head. Like you're one to talk, you jerk. Growls Naruto with some of his mother's side coming out again. Suddenly the snapping of a branch makes the two look over their shoulders with a blank stare. Standing on a branch is the silver-haired kunoichi who looks positively murderous. You, rants the silver-haired kunoichi as Naruto and Sasuke simply look at her blankly. You worthless little brats, shouts the silver-haired kunoichi as she draws two swords and attacks. She clashes with both the boys and they skillfully attack each other with kenjutsu. Sasuke parries a strike before Naruto kicks the kunoichi back. The kunoichi flips and tosses shuriken that multiply. Naruto slams his hands together and a group of roots sprout from the ground to block the shuriken. As the roots go down, the kunoichi dashes forward. However, she widens her eyes when she sees Sasuke inhaling air. Naruto produces several shuriken with a smile on his face. The shuriken float next to him as he weaves hand signs. Futon. Kaden Shuriken, wind style. Rotating shuriken. Says Naruto as he infuses wind-natured chakra into the shuriken, which fly towards the kunoichi. Kaden. Hosenka no jutsu, fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu. Says Sasuke as he blows out several small fireballs that overlap Naruto's shuriken. The kunoichi skids to a stop as the fireballs reach her. The explosion rocks the area again as Naruto and Sasuke look on. Naruto looks up and spots the kunoichi flying out of the smoke cloud. She has several shuriken in her shoulders and burn marks over her body. The kunoichi growls before flashing through hand signs in a pattern that makes Sasuke widen his eyes. Naruto, water, shouts Sasuke, making Naruto glare at him. Give me an order again and I'll deal with you first. Says Naruto as he dashes in front of Sasuke and weaves 3 hand signs. Kaden. Ruka no jutsu, fire style. Dragon flame jutsu. Shouts the kunoichi as she breathes out a stream of fire. Sweden. Sujinheki, water style. Water wall. Says Naruto as he blows out a large wall of water that rises forward. The 2 attacks collide and steam blows into the 3. Iruka looks up to see water falling from the sky and spots the water wall. There! Shouts Hinata as Iruka moves forward. The steam disperses as Sasuke and Naruto look to the kunoichi who seems to have become even angrier. Naruto-kun! Shouts a voice, making Naruto behind the kunoichi to see Hinata and Iruka. Hinata, Iruka-sensei, says Naruto before he widens his eyes when the kunoichi turns and throws several kunai with explosive tags. Hinata, dodge them, shouts Naruto, but the tags go off and engulf Iruka and Hinata. Sasuke and Naruto vanish in a shunshin with Naruto catching Hinata and Sasuke catching Iruka. Hinata is barely breathing while Iruka coughs. Naruto grips his hands tight and glares at the kunoichi who decides to attack. It's over, shouts the kunoichi before Naruto turns and dodges the sword strike. He then slams his fist right into the face of the kunoichi. The face caves in before she is sent flying back and through several trees. The trail can be seen from above the trees before she stops after hitting a boulder. The kunoichi coughs up some blood while her nose bleeds and her face is disfigured. Naruto turns of his Byakugan and looks to Hinata who breathes shallowly. Hinata, says Naruto before he takes of his ninja gauntlets and presses her hand to her mouth. Hinata, I need you to bite me. Hinata looks up weakly and coughs but can't bite down. Hinata, says Naruto with some worry before he clicks his teeth, don't be mad but this is the only way. Naruto then kisses Hinata, making Sasuke raise a brow. Hinata feels something warm on her lips and her body begins to heal. What is this? Thinks Hinata before she opens her eyes to see her favorite redhead, kissing her. Hinata's face and body turn as red as Naruto's hair. Naruto opens his eyes and sees Hinata before letting go of the kiss. He has a small barely noticeable blush on his face as he looks away. Ahem, it seems you're better, says Naruto as steam rises from Hinata's head. Now before you say anything I want to defend myself by saying it was the only way to save you. Rants Naruto with a faint blush. Hinata continues to steam as Naruto talks before she says something she can't take back. Though she is not in her right mind after Naruto kissed her. Naruto-kun, calls Hinata in a shout, making Naruto flinch. What's wrong? Asks Naruto while trying to avoid eye contact. Well, I was wondering if you could go to the fireworks festival with me. Says Hinata, really fast. Naruto looks at her before looking to Sasuke who smirks his cocky grin. If he weren't in such a position, Naruto would sock that smirk right of his face. Starts Naruto as he begins to sweat like he was in a written exam, the fireworks festival huh? Well, I guess. The last part was in a whisper. Hinata turns beet red before fainting. Oi, Hinata, shouts Naruto as he holds her. Iruka looks on with a smile while Sasuke folds his arms over his chest. The Anbu arrive on the scene and take the kunoichi away. Two are still alive while the third is burned badly. Naruto looks to the sky and sighs. I have no idea how to have a date, says Naruto while rubbing the back of his head. At the gates of Konoha, Kotetsu and Izumo sit wide-eyed on their watch. Well, not exactly, as the two are sleeping. Kotetsu has long, spiky, black hair and dark eyes. He has a strip of bandage running across the bridge of his nose and a light-colored marking on his chin. He also wears a standard Chunin flak jacket. Izumo has brown hair and dark eyes. His hair is combed down and always covers his right eye. He wears his forehead protector like a bandana along with the standard Konoha shinobi outfit which goes all the way up to his chin. Kotetsu wakes with a yawn as he stretches. Stirred by his partner's yawn, Izumo wakes and looks around. The two fail to notice a tall and well-built man in adulthood with fair skin. He has a wart the left side of his nose and waist length, spiky white hair that is tied in a ponytail. Good to see you two keeping your eyes open and guarding the village, says the man with a smile as Kotetsu turns and widens his eyes. Why, says Kotetsu as Izumo widens his eyes. No need to announce me, says the man as he walks into the village. I'll go greet the old man myself. Izumo and Kotetsu look on in shock. Things are going to get lively, smirks Kotetsu with Izumo chuckling. In the Hokage Tower, Hiruzen sighs as he finishes a loaf of paper work. He then glances in all directions before opening a drawer. He then pulls out an orange book and opens it to a certain page. Almost immediately, he giggles with a blush on his face. Ahem, says a voice, making Hiruzen gulp and look behind him. Pretty good book, huh, old man? Jiraiya, states Hiruzen in surprise while Jiraiya laughs. But, says Jiraiya before turning serious, I'm not here to autograph it for you. Hiruzen hears the tone and puts the book away. Tell me, says Hiruzen as Jiraiya leans on the window. They will soon be ready, says Jiraiya, making Hiruzen take a puff of his pipe. Have they begun to move? Asks Hiruzen while blowing smoke from his lungs. They've kept themselves busy by doing mercenary work for the ninja villages, says Jiraiya before looking to Hiruzen. My guess is they need money to fund their organization. What do you need? Asks Hiruzen while glancing towards Jiraiya. I need to train Naruto before he graduates from the academy, says Jiraiya as he rubs his hair, but it won't be for long, at most several months. Naruto's combat abilities are among the best in the academy, says Hiruzen, making Jiraiya chuckle. I've no doubt about that, says Jiraiya as he smiles. Tsunade taught him how to really fight. I taught him ninjutsu, says Jiraiya with a smile. So what more does he need to learn? Asks Hiruzen as he takes another puff of his pipe. Jiraiya looks to him and takes a scroll of his back. Hiruzen widens his eyes at the scroll. Summoning, says Hiruzen in shock. Isn't he a little young? Asks Hiruzen while Jiraiya laughs. I was younger than him when I learned, says Jiraiya with a laugh before he sighs. The only thing is, he doesn't seem to like toads all that much, says Jiraiya with a sheepish chuckle. Hiruzen thinks for a while before he looks to Jiraiya. Does it have to be toads? Asks Hiruzen, making Jiraiya think. The great toad sage didn't specify that it had to be toads, says Jiraiya as he thinks back. What do you have in mind? Hiruzen stands and walks over to a wall before pressing his hand against several panels. Jiraiya raises a brow before Hiruzen takes out a large scroll the size of the toad scroll. The difference between the scrolls is the toad scroll is red while the scroll Hiruzen has is purple. The purple scroll also has ornate gold snakes. Is that the snake scroll? Asks Jiraiya, making Hiruzen nod and sigh sadly. Hiruzen opens the scroll to see two names. One name has been scratched over and Hiruzen looks on sadly. He chose his path. You aren't responsible, assures Jiraiya as the scratched out name spells Orochimaru. Yeah, I'm sure this contract will do, says Hiruzen, making Jiraiya nod his head. Hiruzen taps his hand on the desk in a pattern before an Anbu with an eagle mask arrives. Yes, Lord Hokage, asks Eagle with a head bow. I need to see Naruto Uzumaki, bring him to me. Orders Hiruzen, making Eagle nod and vanish. Hyuga Estate. Hinata, Hanabi and Hiashi all sit in the training dojo. In front of the three is Naruto and Neji, who both have their Byakugan active. Naruto pants as he looks at his rival and friend. Neji pants as well but smiles at the challenge. Neji used to be cold towards anyone affiliated with the main branch of the Hyuga clan, but Naruto changed his views. Since then, Neji has talked with Hiashi and gained closure from his father's death. Ever since the activation of his Byakugan, Naruto has trained with Hiashi and Neji. He has been seen at the Hyuga estate far more often than he used to be. Hinata pokes her fingers together with a blush, thinking about tonight. Tonight is the night she goes on a date with Naruto. With the help of Hanabi, Hinata has picked out a kimono that is quite daring for herself. Hanabi has assured her that Naruto would like it. Hihi, Hinata Nichan, are you thinking about tonight? Asks Hanabi with a teasing tone. Hinata turns bright red and waves her hands frantically in front of her. And no, I was just thinking what I'd have for dinner. Exclaims Hinata with a blush, making Hanabi giggle. Naruto, take care of Hinata tonight. Shouts Hanabi, making Naruto lose his balance and face plant. Hanabi, cries Hinata with a blush as she covers her face with her hands. Hiashi grips his arms tighter and growls as his hair levitates. Naruto gets up from the ground with a faint blush on his face. That's right, I nearly forgot about tonight. Thinks Naruto with some sweat going down his face. Don't tell me you forgot. Says Hanabi with a stern glare and pout. Naruto turns to her and waves his hand. Oh, of course I didn't forget, says Naruto with a stutter before pointing to Hinata, who, eeps, prepare yourself for the greatest date in the world. Hinata widens her eyes before fainting, making Hanabi giggle. Naruto on the other hand pales at the words he just said. Am I an idiot? Thinks Naruto while pulling his own hair. Neji has his arms folded over his chest with an amused expression. Hanabi finally wakes up Hinata while Naruto turns his head away with his hands in his pockets. Huh? What just happened? Asks Hinata with a head tilt. Neji steps up and smirks to Naruto, who becomes confused. Naruto just promised you the best date in the world, says Neji as he points to Naruto, who gapes. That's right, young Naruto has to keep his promise or he will never be a man, says Hiashi with a stern nod, making Naruto pale further. Naruto buries his head in his hands with a blush. I'm doomed, says Naruto. Hanabi pats him on the back with a laugh. Neji enters his stance with Naruto doing the same. Before the two can spar, Eagle appears in front of Hiashi, who raises his brow. Lord Hiashi, the Lord Hokage would like to speak with Uzumaki-san, says Eagle. Naruto looks to Eagle and rubs his head. Hinata looks on worried. Will it take long? Asks Naruto as he looks at Eagle, who looks to Naruto. I'm not sure. Why? Asks Eagle before Naruto gets a faint blush on his face. I have a date, says Naruto, making Hinata blush and smile. Eagle's sweat drops at the statement before looking to Hiashi, who nods his head. Well, it shouldn't take too long, says Eagle, given that it is early morning with the sun just rising. Naruto nods before standing next to Eagle. Naruto looks to Hinata, who blushes and pokes her fingers. See you tonight, says Naruto before vanishing via Shunshin. Hokage Tower. Naruto appears in the Hokage Tower with Eagle. The first thing he sees is Jiraiya, who smiles at him. Naruto deadpans at the man before dashing forward and punching him. Jiraiya's eyes comically widen at the sudden attack as he slams into the wall. Good morning, pervert, greets Naruto with his arms folded and back turned from Jiraiya. If one would look closely, they would see a tiny smile on Naruto's face. Jiraiya reaches out with blood running down his face. Naruto attempts Jiraiya before Naruto's foot slams on his head. Why has it taken all this time for you to come visit, little pervert? Demands Naruto as he stomps away at Jiraiya. Jiraiya continues to try to apologize before Naruto stops. Jiraiya struggles to stand and has lumps on his head. Forgive me. Tries Jiraiya while Naruto doesn't look at him. Suddenly Naruto turns and transforms. Oroku no Jutsu, sexy jutsu. Says a feminine Naruto with red hair and a well-endowed chest. Jiraiya looks on before widening his eyes as blood runs down his face. Yao! Shouts Jiraiya with a perverted smile before Naruto changes back. Little pervert! Shouts Naruto as he uppercuts Jiraiya into the ceiling. Jiraiya falls from the ceiling before standing tall. I am not a little pervert. Says Jiraiya with a glare while Naruto raises a brow. Really? Asks Naruto before Jiraiya laughs. I'm a big one. Shouts Jiraiya proudly. Naruto deadpans at the man. I'm telling Granny Tsunade. Says Naruto, making Jiraiya pale. He bows down to Naruto with anime tears running down his face. Please don't. Says Jiraiya before Hiruzen clears his throat, making the two look to him. Naruto's eye twitches when he sees blood running down Hiruzen's nose. Naruto, says Jiraiya turning serious. Naruto knows the games are over by the tone of Jiraiya's voice. You need to sign a summoning contract. Naruto looks to him and sighs. I haven't found one and no, I won't sign the toad contract. Says Naruto, making Jiraiya chuckle. Hiruzen pulls out the snake contract and sets it down. Naruto raises a brow at the scroll. What's that? Asks Naruto, making Hiruzen open the scroll. Naruto sees two names with one crossed out. Orochimaru and Anko Mitarashi. Naruto sees the snake decorations on the seal and hums. So where do I sign? Asks Naruto with a smile while Jiraiya looks to him and smiles. After writing his name in blood, Naruto is taken by Jiraiya to a training ground to summon his first animal. So what hand signs do I need to do? Asks Naruto as he stands in the middle of the field with the sun high in the sky. Jiraiya laughs before flashing through hand signs as Naruto looks on. Kuchio's no jutsu, summoning jutsu. States Jiraiya as he slams his palm on the ground. In a puff of smoke, a toad appears with Jiraiya standing on top of its head. Naruto looks on in amazement, having seen Jiraiya only summon small toads when he was young. Did you get it? Asks Jiraiya with a chuckle at Naruto's amazed face. Naruto quickly goes through hand signs before slamming his palm on the ground. The smoke clears to show a 9-foot snake that makes Naruto look a little nervous. Jiraiya looks at the snake and feels something odd coming from it. So cool, shouts Naruto as he looks up at the snake, who looks to him. You fool, something's not right, shouts Jiraiya. The snake looks around before eyeing Naruto, who yells back at Jiraiya with a tick mark on his head. Suddenly he widens his eyes when the snake wraps around him and looks him in the eyes. The coils begin to instantly crush him, making him widen his eyes further and a slight bit of fear to come out. Are you the one who summoned me? Asks the snake in a female tone that has a hypnotic after effect to it, before Naruto feels danger and substitutes with a wood replacement. The snake hums as the wood replacement turns to splinters after the snake applies some pressure. Naruto, it is up to you to prove you are worthy to summon their species. Says Jiraiya as he watches from a distance. You didn't tell me that. Shouts Naruto in anger before the snake moves at high speeds towards him. Fast, thinks Naruto before dodging the fangs and flipping up on a branch. The snake wraps itself around the tree before ascending. Naruto jumps into the forest and lands on a branch. He looks around but can't see the snake. Naruto continues to look around the forest and clicks his teeth. Hello, I know you're there, says Naruto as he looks around. Hello, little boy, greets the snake, making Naruto tense. Unknown to Naruto, the snake has camouflaged itself among the trees. Oh no, don't be scared, says the snake in a soothing, hypnotic voice, I'm not going to hurt you. You have a funny way of proving it, says Naruto as he switches from stance to stance in a circle. Listen, I don't want trouble, I just want to summon your kin when I need them. Assures Naruto as he talks to the snake. There's no trouble, says the snake as it discreetly moves around the forest while wrapping itself among the branches, cutting off Naruto's retreat. Are you alone? Asks the snake as Naruto begins to feel some fear. Something about the snake makes him uncomfortable. It's as if its very presence makes one lower their guard. And not only that, but he feels like prey. My sensei is not far, says Naruto as he internally curses himself for stuttering in fear. The snake hums and Naruto quickly turns, thinking it was behind him. He sees nothing and takes a relaxing breath. So you are alone, says the snake, making Naruto sweat a little. That's not good, we should never be alone. Naruto widens his eyes and turns to see the snake looking at him a few feet away. The snake lowers its head and comes closer. I can keep you company if you want, says the snake as Naruto begins to lower his guard, unconsciously. The snake begins to slither closer, but not fast to alarm Naruto, but slow, keeping Naruto's gaze on her. Who are you? Asks Naruto as he steps back, making the snake slow its movement. The snake slithers closer and stops, making Naruto confused. Ka, soothes the snake, giving its name. Naruto has now completely lowered his guard as Ka moves forward. I meant no harm or insult for summoning you, assures Naruto as Ka looks to him and nuzzles her body against his face. Forgive me, says Ka as she wraps herself around Naruto while never losing eye contact. It's been some time since I was summoned. Naruto looks into her eyes before shaking his head and noticing he has been caught. Oh my, says Ka with her hypnotic voice, not many people can break out of my hypnosis. Naruto glares at her, making Ka hiss in curiosity. You wish to summon my kin? Asks Ka, getting a nod from Naruto. Ka seems to loosen her coils before putting her head in front of Naruto. I have to say you have the skill to do so, says Ka before glancing behind her to see Naruto crouched on a branch. Thank you, says Naruto with a smile as the Naruto that Ka has her coils around puffs away. Ka curls around the branch she is on before sighing. Very well, says Ka, having had her fun, making Naruto widen his eyes with a smile, but in order for you to truly be our summoner, you'd have to summon Manda. Manda? Asks Naruto as Jiraiya lands beside him. Yo, it looks like everything worked out, says Jiraiya with a laugh while Naruto shakes and uppercuts him with a tick mark. You buffoon, shouts Naruto as Ka looks on at the scene of a boy beating his sensei. After the beating, Naruto has a throbbing tick mark as he looks to Ka. Next time you tell me everything involved with a jutsu, got it? Asks Naruto while glancing back at a beaten-up Jiraiya. Hi, I'm sorry, says Jiraiya. So, who is this Manda? Asks Naruto as Jiraiya stands, fully healed from the beating. Manda is the boss summon of the snakes of the Raichi cave, says Jiraiya as he looks to Ka, who nods. Judging by your smell, says Ka as she flicks her tongue, you are a toad summoner. Naruto looks between the two. The toad and snake clans have been enemies since the dawn of time, says Jiraiya, making Naruto widen his eyes, but even still, they have found ways to cooperate with each other. More like endure the sight of each other, says Ka as she slithers towards Naruto. Naruto nods his head understanding. But how can I summon the big boss? Asks Naruto before Ka bites him, making him yell out and cover his bite wound. What was that for? Demands Naruto with a glare. Ka simply looks at him and sighs. We of the Snake Clan are highly poisonous, says Ka as she looks at Naruto, who sweats a little, so it is a custom that our summoners gain our immunity to all poisons. Naruto glances at the bite spot and feels no pain. Also, I have an idea about how to summon Manda, says Jiraiya as Naruto rubs his bite spot and doesn't look to him. Is that so? States Naruto as he turns before he sees Jiraiya poke him with 2 fingers. Naruto is suddenly flung back through the forest and in a ravine. Huh, shouts Naruto as he falls down the ravine. Ka and Jiraiya look down the ravine. A very effective plan, says Ka, giving a compliment, before she sweat drops at the sight of Jiraiya with a cloud of depression and fear. He's going to kill me when he gets out of there. Cries Jiraiya before he becomes ghostly white. Oh, or even worse, he'll tell Tsunade. Says Jiraiya with pure fear. Tsunade. You mean the legendary Sannin who could bring down mountains with a single punch? Asks Ka with Jiraiya paling at every word. She then puts her tail on his shoulder. Good luck. Says Ka with her tail forming a thumbs up. Naruto looks down the seemingly bottomless ravine and begins to panic. He looks to the side of the walls and channels his chakra. Got to grab onto the edge. Panics Naruto in his head as he tries to grab the side of the ravine. As he latches on widens his eyes at the wetness of the rocks. Shit. Thinks Naruto as he falls deeper into the ravine. Naruto can hear his heartbeat becoming faster as he looks down the ravine. Is this how I'm going to die? Thinks Naruto with wide eyes. Suddenly he sees flashes of Tsunade, Jiraiya, Iruka, Hiruzen, Neko, Inu, and Hinata. Naruto's eyes narrow before he bites his finger and flashes through hand signs. Deep inside him a pair of red eyes open before a smirk is seen before the eyes close. Kuchio's no jutsu, summoning jutsu. Shouts Naruto as a large puff of smoke goes off under him. He lands on something hard and rolls to a stop. Naruto stands and looks around before checking if he summoned the right thing. He widens his eyes at the sheer size of the summon he called. Ka looks down the ravine and hisses at the sight of the massive snake. This should be good, says Ka as she lounges on a tree with her head looking down the ravine. Manda is not one who likes to be summoned. Naruto looks down at the massive snake he is on and begins to pale at the aura this one's giving off. Suddenly the snake moves and Naruto falls on the coils. Ow, says Naruto as he rubs his head before widening his eyes when the snake looks at him. Says Manda with narrowed eyes. Naruto opens his mouth in shock and amazement at the sight of the large purple snake whose coils are tunneled within the walls of the ravine. Well, says Manda with narrowed eyes at Naruto who can't seem to form words, what should be your punishment for summoning me, little bug? Naruto can immediately tell that this guy is snobbish and arrogant but he can back it up. Perhaps, I should just eat you. Hisses Manda while flicking out his tongue making Naruto stand and quickly bow his head in respect. While he may have summoned Manda, that doesn't mean he has to listen to Naruto and take orders. Lord Manda, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, greets Naruto, making Manda hum at the respectful tone. I would like to become an official contract holder of the snake contract. Manda looks to the collarbone of Naruto and notices a familiar scent from the no longer existent bite mark. And I suppose you think I should just roll over and follow your orders? States Manda with a hiss of anger, making Naruto shake his head quickly. And no, but if you could help me when I need it and when you are not otherwise preoccupied, I would appreciate it. Says Naruto with sweat running down his face. Manda hisses at Naruto before looking up. Where the hell am I, little boy? Asks Manda, making Naruto widen his eyes at not being called bug. Manda looks to him and narrows his eyes. Well, hisses Manda, louder, making Naruto stutter. Well, we're in a ravine and I was hoping you could get me us out. Says Naruto with a chuckle. Manda looks at the boy and seems to be in thought. To summon me he would have to expend a large amount of chakra, thinks Manda as he looks over the chuckling boy, and by the looks of it he seems unfazed by the amount needed and used. If you fall off you will be eaten by me. Says Manda, making Naruto's laughter die in his throat. Manda's body tenses before, quick as lightning, he ascends from the ravine. Naruto struggles to hold onto the fast-moving snake. Manda tunnels into the side of the ravine, making Naruto widen his eyes as rocks come towards him. Naruto punches and kicks the rocks apart while maintaining his foothold on Manda. Ka feels the movement under the earth and wraps around several branches to maintain her balance. Jiraiya stands on the same tree and sighs in relief. Suddenly Manda resurfaces with Naruto on his back. Jiraiya looks up at Manda to see just how big he is. He is far bigger and longer than Gamabunta, and by the looks of him, he could swallow Gamabunta whole. And being a snake, he's still growing. I'm impressed you managed to keep your feet on me, says Manda as he glances up at a panting Naruto whose eyes are wide at the sight of the village, a few miles away. Manda looks down and spots Ka, who slithers up the tallest tree. Ka, I see you given this boy our immunity to poison, says Manda with his gaze softening ever so lightly. Yes, I did, father, says Ka, making Naruto gape. Manda lowers his head to the ground, making Naruto hop off. Manda raises his head and looks down at Naruto. Very well, boy, I'll allow you to summon us, says Manda, making Naruto shout and jump for joy, his mother's attitude coming out. Ka will teach you the various jutsu our summoners can use. Ka wraps around Naruto in a seductive way, making Naruto blush. It would be my pleasure, hisses Ka while Naruto clears his throat. Manda puffs away in white smoke as Naruto looks to Ka with an innocent smile. Where is Jiraiya? Asks Naruto, making Ka point her tail to a dust trail that is heading towards the village. Naruto's eyes glow red before he forms a Cheshire cat-like grin on his face. Jiraiya's girly screams are heard all the way to the village. Later that night, at the Hyuga estate, Hinata waits near the front gates with a lavender kimono over her. The kimono seems to show off Hinata's body, a little more than she is used to. However, Hanabi was unmoving and promised Naruto would love it. So here she is with a blush on her face, waiting for Naruto. Ahem, says a voice, making Hinata perk up and look to her right to see Naruto in a red kimono with a faint blush on his face. Hinata looks at Naruto in amazement and blushes. How do I look? Asks Naruto as he turns his head away. Behind him, watching from a distance, is Sakura and Ino, who give each other the thumbs up. Naruto literally chased them down and forced them to help him for his date. I can't believe he forced us to help him, says Sakura with a sigh. Yeah, I guess even Naruto can be scary when he wants to be, says Ino as she shudders at Naruto glowing red eyes. So, I believe she should get dinner first, says Naruto as he extends his arm in an inviting manner. Hinata's head explodes with steam before she quickly recovers. Hi, says Hinata as she holds arms with Naruto, who still has a faint blush. The two walk around the village and play several games before the fireworks start. Naruto takes Hinata to Ichiraku Ramen, where the owner has made special seats and fixed up the place for Naruto. Naruto's sweat drops at the sight of Hinata eating more ramen than him. It's really good, says Hinata with a blush as Naruto nods his head with a smile. The date goes by just as Naruto had envisioned it, making his ego skyrocket. However, Hinata smiles at having learned what he had planned by Sakura and Ino and strove to great lengths to make sure everything went as he had envisioned. Near the end of the night, Naruto sits with Hinata by his side as the fireworks are about to start. Hey Hinata, asks Naruto without looking at her. Hinata looks to him with a tilted head. Why do you care about me, Hinata? Asks Naruto as he has never felt a bond like this before. Hinata pokes her fingers together with a blush. She suddenly gets a teasing look in her eyes. I'd feel bad if I abandoned a dog drenched in the rain, says Hinata with an innocent tone while Naruto gapes. She's putting me on the same level as a dog, thinks Naruto in shock. A lone tear falls to the ground as Naruto looks down with a comical expression. Wait, that's not right, says Hinata with a worried face. I feel sorrier towards Naruto-kun than towards a dog. Now I'm lower than a dog, thinks Naruto with a comical expression. Hinata giggles at his reaction before she blushes. Why, you want to know the real reason I like you, Naruto-kun? Asks Hinata, making Naruto look to her. The fireworks illuminate the night as Naruto nods. Then close your eyes, says Hinata with a blush, making Naruto shrug and close his eyes. Suddenly he feels something soft against his lips, making him open his eyes to see Hinata kissing him. Naruto falls into the kiss and the two stay connected. After a while the kiss is stopped as Hinata pants. "I don't like you Naruto-kun," says Hinata as she looks up at him with a blush, "I love you." Naruto blushes at the confession before cupping Hinata's face, making Hinata surprised. Naruto-kun," asks Hinata before Naruto kisses her. Hinata looks up as Naruto releases the kiss with a smile. "I love you, Hinata," says Naruto, making Hinata turn beet red and steam to rise from her head. In the next second she faints onto Naruto, who smiles as he looks into the night sky. "Ero Senin is going to freak when I tell him I got a girlfriend," says Naruto with a laugh as he rubs Hinata's head.